So hi, welcome you again to the Net Maintenance Solutions, okay, where your outcome always matters to us. Now we will be starting our yesterday's class continuity because yesterday we were having some issues, okay, in the lab and all that we will be checking today, and we will be proceeding further, okay. So yesterday, Munir, for you, because you are new to F5 or you are not aware about
Mhm.
you just check it that okay, there are some of the big IP products, okay, which we can use in our environment, and we are learning one of them that is dedicated for the security named as ASM, okay, and it is application security manager, right?
Okay.
And I also told you that yes, LTM will not get over, okay, if you have some like ESM, it means it is working above on LTM only, okay. Then we discussed about packet based design, okay. Maybe you guys can keep on mute everyone because there is some background noise, and if there is some doubt you can unmute yourself, please. So we already checked in yesterday's class about the packet based design, and I told you when your endpoint is not your device which is coming in between and communication is going thoroughly through it, okay, so it is your packet based design which is important to understand of the working of your big IP system. Otherwise you guys will not be able to understand that how SSL traffic big IP is able to interrupt or intercept with, okay. So here you can see request is going through your router, okay, to the application server, and application server is sending this back to the clients. Then we already talked about full proxy design as well, and I already told you that full proxy design means when your big IP system is coming in between and it is picking up everything. Yesterday I talked about SSL offloading, SSL bridging, and SSL pass through. I explained about that, right? One of you?
Yeah, you told us about three kind of SSL traffic,
Correct,
right?
correct. So for that you should be aware about profiles, okay. What profiles is, so in LTM, or we are saying in big IP product suite family, we have something known as profiles that are nothing but object your configurational objects which will tweak the traffic behavior, or let us say that if you are using a router will work on layer 3 only, right? If you are on switch, it will be working on layer 2 only, okay. If you are on a firewall, maybe, okay, let us suppose it is working on layer 4 only. But if you are saying big IP system, okay, even if it is LTM, it can work on layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, layer 7. So how come big IP system will come to know that okay, what is the traffic pattern which I am receiving for, and that is the answer for profiles. So when you are using profiles, under the profiles you are providing the intelligence that okay, what kind of traffic is coming to you. So there is two terms, one is negative security model, one is positive security model. Let me go through that as well. And positive security model, okay. Again, these terms are very much important when you are configuring your ASM. You guys should be aware about these terms, okay. So first let us understand about LTM, okay. For you, Munir, because you are new to LTM, if you have big IP system working as LTM only, any traffic which will come to it, by default it is denied, okay.
Okay.
It will not entertain any of the traffic until or unless you manually going to your big IP system and configuring some objects, okay. So these objects are like virtual server first of all. So if you have virtual servers, okay, again virtual servers are of different types, which we will not discuss here today, okay, but there are different types.
We cannot see your slide. Did you share the slide? Right?
Oh my god, yes, I am sharing the slide, but my screen is paused. Thanks for
I think you should repeat all again. We could not see what.
okay, okay, thank you. So let me let me share it again. Okay, so are you guys able to see now?
Yeah, yes, we know.
Okay, let me start it from the scratch then. So again, welcome you all to the NetMinion Solutions, where your outcome matters to us. Okay, and then we were talking about our yesterday slide. Okay, where we were talking about that. Okay, big IP product family has different packet suits. So like we will be talking about ASM in our class, and ASM is Application Security Manager. And I was telling you guys that when you are going for ASM, it means you are running ASM on the top of LTM. Okay, if you have local traffic manager, only then you are able to run the ASM, because if you are applying security on something, traffic should be entertained by something, right? So security on what? Security on LTM objects. So we will be using LTM also, we will be using ASM also, that I was telling you before some time. Now here in this slide I was talking about packet based device. So packet based device means when your communication is going through your device, okay, and it is not ending on your device. So here if you see, this is our device. Okay, now your communication will not be like this, that it is not proxying, or it is not replying on the behalf of application server. When some traffic is coming, it is going through your router to your application server, and application server is responding back the traffic, unlike your big IP, which we will be checking in some time. Okay, so if you are seeing request is going through it, response is going through it. Then I was talking about full proxy architecture, which is very much important. Again I am repeating, because you should be aware like how big IP system is able to tweak this traffic. Now yesterday, if you remember, I was talking about SSL traffic, right? So SSL is what? Like your secure traffic. Now if your traffic is coming, so client is sending traffic SSL, okay, and if this big IP is not working as full proxy mode, let us suppose, so traffic will pass through this. Big IP will not able to intercept that traffic. It is not able to view it, it is not able to modify it. That is the reason why big IP should be in the full proxy mode always. And for full proxy mode, one thing is, if your SSL traffic is coming, it means big IP system should have the key to decrypt this traffic. Are you guys getting this point? Why we should be having SSL profile, how SSL profile is important. Then I was talking about profile, so let me discuss about profile first, okay, because I was telling you about the profile. So when I am saying that I am using big IP system, it means big IP system can be used for layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, or till layer 7. Okay, now by using profiles, I was saying you, by using profiles, you guys will be able to tell to your big IP system that okay, I have one virtual server, okay, this virtual server is in the forwarding mode, okay, so it means this virtual server will only tackle layer 3 traffic. Okay, I have one virtual server, it is in standard mode. It means it can be go to up to TCP UDP kind of profile if we are applying for layer 4 traffic. If I am having a virtual server and it is again a standard and I am applying a profile, say HTTP profile over it. It means I am saying to my virtual server, hey buddy, you will be getting HTTP traffic. Okay, this is a lame and very high fly by view for you, Munir, so that you can make understand when we will be doing such kind of things.
So
Yes.
basically, the meaning of profile is here we create a profile based on the type of traffic, like HTTP traffic or HTTPS traffic, layer 3 traffic, layer 4 traffic, something like that, right?
You can
And
apply, yeah.
we apply this profile to a particular virtual server in the big IP.
Yes, yes.
Got it. Got it.
So that is how your traffic will be moving from your big IP system. Now I was telling you about yesterday also for SSL profile. Let me repeat it again because it is an important one. Okay, now when you are using SSL profile, maybe, okay, so your encrypted traffic is coming over here. I told you that client is having a public key, okay, and it has some mechanisms, okay, like what would be my encryption mechanism, what would be my authentication, how my keys will be getting encrypted, what will be the hashing algorithm. This traffic is going, and if it is going through your big IP system, and your big IP system is not in the mode to read this traffic, so this encrypted traffic your big IP system will not able to read, and traffic will be decrypted from the server side also only. Okay, so that will fail our requirement to check the security risks or the vulnerabilities which is generated by your client. So in that case, or not client, maybe we can say hacker. Okay, so if hacker is sending something and my big IP is not able to view that traffic, how would it would be able to check that traffic and mitigate those violations? It cannot. So in that scenario, Munir, what we will be doing, we will be playing with SSL profiles. Okay, again a profile and named is SSL. As the name is saying SSL profile, it means in SSL profile we will be telling to our big IP system, okay, that hey buddy, first of all, SSL profile will be used in which case? When the traffic will be HTTP and HTTPS, right? And for this you should be have one more profile, that is HTTP. For HTTP you should be having a profile TCP. So there is profile dependency, like for TCP, for HTTP, for SSL, HTTP profile should be there. So now if you are managing SSL profile, there are two type of SSL profiles again. Okay, let me give an overview about that as well. So there are two profiles, which is your client side and server side. So Fanit, you can you explain about them? Explain about them, please. Or maybe anyone from your team, so that I can understand which level I can use this thing. We are talking about SSL profile.
I think as a profile for client side, we used to communicate between the client to the IP.
Please come closer to the mic.
The SSL profile for client side is the SSL we use to communicate between the client that request to the big IP. I
Yes,
mean the virtual server.
yes,
Yes, and for the server side, used for communicate between the big IP to the real server.
correct, perfect, perfect. So just a minute. So So here if you will see that there are two profile, one is client profile, one is server profile. Okay, so when your PC is generating a traffic, okay, this is your PC, this is generating traffic, it is coming over the cloud, okay, and it is going to your big IP system. As I was telling you, you should be having what? You should be having virtual server for handling this traffic. Okay, now if you having a virtual server, let us say, okay, so if you having a virtual server, it means your traffic is entertained by that virtual server, and as I was telling you, you need to apply HTTPS profile over here. Okay, and along with that we will be applying SSL profile. Into this SSL profile we will be uploading certificate. Which certificate? The same certificate for the application for which we are creating this virtual server. Okay, so same certificate we will be uploading it, and here we should be having the key also, the private key. Okay, so that if your traffic is coming through your client on your big IP system, your big IP system is able to decrypt that traffic using the same cert and the key. Getting this point, Munir? Okay for you also?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now second thing, once so there can be some requirement that it is your big IP system and you have decrypted the traffic on this point. Okay, let us suppose it is a crown jewel application. Okay, you are very much, it should be highly secured in your environment, and it is your end server. So in this case, when traffic moving from here to here, we want that this traffic should be encrypted form. It should not go decrypted via decrypted way. In that scenario, what we will be doing? We will be using SSL profile again, but this time we will be using server side. So from here to here, what we are using? We are using client side SSL profile. When we are sending traffic over here, what we are initiating? We are initiating a like traffic again, encrypted traffic, and towards the server side. Let me tell you one thing very clearly so that you guys should not be having any doubt. When you are applying SSL profile, okay, towards the client, you should be have the actual cert with private key. First thing. Second thing, when you are applying SSL profile towards the server side, these things don't required. You can use by default SSL profile for your big IP system only to generate the encrypted traffic, you can say. Is it clear to you guys?
Yes, yes.
I will be showing you in some time in over the big IP system also, so that you should not have any doubt. One thing more, let us say in your environment you are having Palo Alto before big IP system. So this is your client coming through your cloud. You have one of the firewall. Okay, so maybe it is a Palo Alto, and then you have big IP system, and then you have some servers. I am just using only one server in our case. If Palo Alto is coming in between, and Palo Alto is also intercepting the traffic. To intercept the traffic means it should also need to decrypt the traffic. Getting this point, guys? So as a big IP administrator, if you are creating the CSR and you are creating the certs, you need to provide all of these things, that is cert plus private key to Palo Alto team in a secured way. Okay, whatever the secured way in your environment you are following up. Okay, that depends upon your company to company norms, that I will not talk about. What are the secured way? Maybe the encrypted email, one of them. Okay, or any of the tool if you are using. In secured way, you need to send it to this team, so that this team can also upload the same thing. Okay, in which format? In PAM format. Generally, when you are sharing your certificate and key, it should be shared into the PAM format. Okay, so I wanted to ask this question for you, Sofanit and team, Swendi and team, that are you guys aware how to export this certificate in this format from F5? Because
Not too, but
these things are because important and will come in the real scenarios. Okay, nobody teach you this. Okay,
yes.
so if you are not aware, maybe let me first give you the overview about that, then we will be coming to this. Okay, so
Yes.
so let me go to
So we are talking about two things here. One is the certificate and the private key. Certificate will be we can purchase a certificate from an authority, right? And the key will be
let me go again. Okay, I am
uh,
going from the scratch because I can see there is some gap. Okay,
Mhm.
so if you are having a big IP you are a big IP administrator. Okay, and in your company it is your duty to get the cert. Now there can be different ways. One way can be that you are creating a CSR. Okay, certificate signing request. In this CSR you need to fill up some of the fields, like what is the name of your application. Let us say I am applying, okay, my name of my application is netminion.net. Okay, whatever the name of your application is, that will be applicable. Then I will be applying, okay, what is the address, okay, whatever the what are organization, what blah blah blah, different fields. After that I need to provide out what is the email address which I need to be get updated on. Okay, then I need to provide something known as SAN, subject authority or alternative name, I will be showing you in some time. Okay, in SAN I can say that okay, my team will be using netminion.net also, and maybe I am using 10.10.10.10 IP in my intranet, and I can open through this also. Okay, so my internet team should be using this IP because it is a, or maybe 10.1.1.1.1 IP, it is very much easier for them to open it. They can use this also, so that name I will be using in SAN. Maybe some of the C names you guys have read about the DNS, right? So Fanit and Swendi, so and team, you can use such kind of names also in SAN. When you are generating this CSR, okay, a key will be generated automatically. That will be residing where? Both of these things will be residing where? In your big IP system. First thing, it is clear. This is your step.
right.
Step 1 is clear to everyone. Now let us go
Yes.
to the step 2.
Yes.
Okay, now we are going to the step 2. Okay, into step 2 we need to have cert. Okay, we need to have cert. So far in our big IP system we have two things, and those two things are what? That is CSR plus key. Now we need to have cert. This cert again depends, either it is your internet, what kind of application you are using. Okay, so if it is your portal, it means only your company guys can open it. In that case your company may be generating the certificate for you. Even you can also create cert from the big IP system, I told you last time, right? But it's all right, let me show you again. So there is some different team known as PKI team, which generally a big organization having them in their roles. Okay, you need to provide this CSR either to PKI or to the certificate authority like DigiCert or whatever you name take. Okay, those certificate authorities or the PKI team will provide you the certificate. Okay, once you will be having the certificate, the third step is you need to import this certificate into your big IP system. Till point number 3, is there any doubt, guys?
No, clear.
Okay.
Yes. No.
Okay, now let me go ahead then. So story is not closed over here. So far in your big IP system you have cert, you have CSR, you have key, but you have not applied this anywhere. For that, what you need to be doing, it is point number 4 maybe. Okay, so for that you need to be having something named as profiles, about which we were talking before some time, that is your SSL profile. In your SSL profile you will be saying that okay, this is my cert, this is my key, or maybe if there is root cert or intermediate cert is there, you can apply that as well. So you will be like binding this information in your profile. Is this point also clear, guys? Now
Yeah.
fifth point is you need to bind up this profile with your virtual server. So in your virtual server there are two options. One is client side profile and one is server side profile. Okay, you need to bind up this profile over here so that your virtual server is now using the same cert and key which you have demanded for this particular application. Is it okay? Point number 5, should I proceed further?
It's okay.
Okay, let us move further then. Now let us go to the same scenario in point number 6. Okay, that your client is coming through the cloud over the Palo Alto or over some firewall, and then your big IP system is having the certificate and everything now, and it is your server. One thing is, from here to here it is encrypted traffic, it is decrypting the traffic. This is your first thing. Now your Palo Alto team is saying no, we guys also have the layer 7 capability, and we also need to intercept the traffic, and we also need to block the thing, because their team also need to show to the management that we are blocking such kind of illegitimate requests. So in that case, what you need to do, you need to go to your certificates, okay, where you have export, where you have uploaded these certifications. You need to export this certificate. There are options. Okay, so what you will be exporting, you will be exporting cert and the key which you generated in your very first step, what I was telling you. Okay, you are exporting it and you are copying it into the notepad. Okay, the cert, whatever your cert is, then your key, whatever your key is, and when you save as your notepad, okay, you save is with extension .pem. That's it. Getting this point? How to save it in the format of .pem? Any doubt? So you are just copying that into the notepad, and when you are saving your notepad, you will not save it by default extension of .txt, but you are using all files, and into all files you can use .pem extension, and it will be uploaded by your Palo Alto or whatever firewall you will be having in your environment. Now scenario number 7. So far it is okay, guys? Okay, I am treating your silence as yes. there is no code. Okay, now I am going ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now your environment can be bit like that. So the same figure maybe I am going through. So far you have uploaded on your Palo Alto, that your Palo Alto also is decrypting it. You have big IP system, it is also decrypting it, and when you are sending the application to the application server, this from here to here it is sending the decrypted traffic. Now interception is at two level, on Palo Alto level, on big IP level, and I told you Palo Alto should be having the certain key, big IP should also having the certain key but obvious. Now if it is a crown jewel application and your server team also need to be having the encrypted traffic, the same cert need to be apply on application server as well. Getting this point? So in this case what we will be doing, we will be applying SSL profiles, so that when traffic is sending again, it should be sent in the form of encrypted way. So now when the traffic will go to the server will again use the same cert, same key to like check that traffic. Is it okay? Now let us go to the 8th point then. Let us add one more layer of complexity here. Let us suppose you have some WAN optimizer, either Riverbed or whatever, okay, in your environment to optimize the WAN traffic and all of that. You guys are aware about that thing. Now if you have such an environment, then in this case the same cert and key should be available to this team as well. Getting this point, guys? So this is your last point which I wanted to get discussed, that when you are using profiles, how it will be useful in your real environment. And again you need to share that certificate with your team. One scenario may be the 9th scenario, that your client is not generating traffic through browser but sending the traffic through some of the tool. Okay, maybe generating the HTTPS traffic through some tool. In that case this guy should be also having the cert but not the private key, public key. Okay. Okay, so let us come back to the full proxy design again. What we were discussing. So full proxy means request is coming on your big IP system and your big IP system is responding back to the client, instead to send it directly on your application server. It is not bit like that. This time the request will be entertained by your big IP system, and there are two flow. One flow is between your big IP system and client. Second flow is between your big IP system and the backend server. So it is damn important to understand that it should be the case, otherwise our big IP system will not be able to intercept the traffic. So here you can see that in full proxy architecture, TCP handshake is done between client and big IP system, and big IP system between server. Then same IPv6, IPv4, we discussed it yesterday, compressed, uncompressed, encrypted, unencrypted, layer 7 modified or no. This particular slide we have already talked about, that how your application flow will be, what would be the component of your application flow, and how you will be using it. Why ASM? We yesterday we talked about it, right? When we were saying about you that there are some of the vulnerabilities which need to be removed. I hope some slides are coming before and forth. This part we discussed about, status code we discussed about yesterday. Okay, now just repeating this thing for all of you again, so that you should not be having any doubt when you are maybe doing something on your environment. So there is one big IP system which we can see over here in this particular slide. We can connect through it using serial cable, but obvious we can use management interface. Okay, default IP of the management interface when your big IP system come, okay, is 192.168.1.245, and when you will be using hexa value of this, it will be equivalent to F5. So some people used to say that F5 is using this value because hexadecimal is F5. So for you, Munir, when your device is unracked or unpacked, okay, and racked first time into the your rack, so you will be using this IP to log into this device or through the serial cable. Then here maybe Wendy and team, you are already aware about it, but for you, Munir, let me repeat it again, that I told you this is our range for our big IP, LTM and kind of stuff. For VPN chassis we will be having some another IP, and same IP is for the big IQ as well. Now what you need to do when you will see the configuration utility, okay, if you are not able to see it, you need to type the keyword config. You will be under the config utility. Here you need to set the IP address, the mask, management route if any, okay, and change these settings. Once you change this setting, the new setting will be come into the effect, and you will be able to reach to your big IP system through this new IP. How you can reach? You can reach by two ways. One way is you can go through GUI, that is through any of the browser, okay, not limited to the one which is shown over here in the slide, or you can use through the CLI like SSH, management port, through self IP also you are able to log in if you have allowed it, okay, and you are not blocking that particular subnet. AOM, SSP, there is something they are always on hardware kind of stuff, okay. And then CL console.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Can you explain about the AOM management?
Sorry.
When will we use this AOM IP address?
So AOM is something which, like, if your big IP system is down, okay, it will that OS is not working, even then it will be up and running out. It is, you can say, it is used for the management, that for management there is one more backdoor entry to your big IP system, through that you can log in into your device.
Can we align the same subnet with the outbound management interface or not?
I hope yes, we should be connecting with that, okay, although I have not connected through AM so far, but theoretically if you will say that yes, you should be get connected with the same subnet.
So we can say this is the backup management interface, right?
You can say that when your whole device OS is down, crashed, so this is a second, a small brain, okay, which is used for entering into the device and to manage the device. So you can say, you are correct, you can say that it is a backdoor entry door for your management of device.
Does the AOM interface is also use Ethernet?
Also use what?
Ethernet. Use Ethernet port or not?
Ethernet port. There is some port. Yes, AOM have some port. Okay. Now
Yeah, because
what is the capability of AOM port that I need to check up which device version you are having. Maybe we can go through the documentation of that device and we can check like what kind of AOM interface it supports. 10, 100, 1000. Okay, what kind of port it is handling, that we can check.
yeah, we see this kind of option on the big IP box I7800, but we don't know the functionality to use about the AOM. Just only see the normal management interface.
Oh, okay, okay. So you ragged it, right? And there is a AOM port, and you wanted to know about the functionality of that, correct?
I see the option on the LCD screen of the I7800. There is the option to configure the AOM, but I check on the hardware box. It doesn't have any AOM physical port, so I don't
Okay.
know how to configure this. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. So in that case, I also need to check. Okay, I will go to the documentation of for the AOM and I will let you know about that part. But
Okay.
if you
Okay.
wanted to know what is AOM is, it is always on. Your it will be always on kind of stuff on your big IP system for the management.
Okay.
That is okay. Okay. Always on management.
Yes, so it is not used for your data traffic or something like that. It will not hamper that thing. It is only for your management. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We can say that it is like the backdoor management test.
Right. So you can also use SCCP or WinSCCP. I hope you guys also see when we were showing you how to download or upload the software management. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Now, how to access the GUI? You just go to the HTTPS and whatever IP you have, up like set for, you can open it through that. By default, there are some passwords, username and passwords. Okay, let me go through that slide so that you can see that. So it is local traffic it is showing. So it depend upon the provisioning. So I hope provisioning already these people are aware, but I will be going through the provisioning in a very quick by overview when I will be going to that slide. So these are default username and password which are mentioned. You need to check only these. Okay, admin for your GUI. Okay, configuration utility you can say. For command line it will be root and default. So you guys are aware about it, about the licensing, provisioning, right? I told you in the big when we were in the LTM stuff, right?
Yes.
So any device if you are logging into, it is not licensed by default. You need to license it. So when you are uploading the license, making it that part is known as licensing. Then since on your same hardware you can run maybe LTM, maybe DNS or GTM and ASM or whatever modules you wanted to use for, if its like device capability is there, that part is known as provisioning. Okay, Munir, it is for you. So let us go ahead and see in a very quick
Sure.
way.
Sure. Thank you.
So what is the part of licensing? When you need to do licensing, it means you just go to the web and write down F5 maybe trial keys, you search for it. Okay, and you will be navigated to a page, okay, where you need to log in. You need to tell that why you want, what you want. You need to select I want the keys for big IP virtual system. Okay, and along with big IQ also come, but we don't use for big IQ, but keep it for you handy, big IP virtual system. And this base registration key will become on your email ID. Okay, what this key content is, it is bit like this. So this is your key which you are getting it from F5 in free. Okay, if you will not get the path, proper path, I will tell you. Okay, I will give you, but if you will write down this, you will be able to get it very easily. Once you have your base registration key, you need to log in into your device. Your device will show that I need to get licensed. Here into base registration key, put this base registration key from your email. Okay, then click on the dossier. Okay, dossier is nothing. Dossier is something that your key and with your device information, couple of your device information, what is your serial number kind of NTP kind of information, it will create another file. That file is named as dossier. Okay, so first step is getting registration key, second step is generating dossier, third step is you need to put this dossier over the F5 license server. F5 license server is nothing but it is just a website where you need to submit the dossier. It will ask what is the dossier, you need to copy and paste the dossier over here, and it will ask, okay, accept the end user license agreement, you need to accept that, and it will generate a license for you. Into that license there would be information that, okay, what are the modules which you can run with, okay, what is the end date. So by default in 30 days it will be get expired. You will be getting by default 3 keys. Okay, there are some option how many keys you want, select for 3. So you will be getting big IP system 3 keys. So all of the 3 keys you need not to use in one go, you can use in couple of the time. Okay, so third step is creating dossier, fourth step is bringing the license back to the big IP system, fifth part is activate that. You need to just click on next and it will get activated automatically. Okay, it is showing over here. Now you need to click on manual, because in automatic your device should be connected with internet and automatically it will pick the dossier and send to the license server, and license server will send the certificate over here. But first time your device is not connected with the internet, so you need to click on manual. So manually when you put over here next, the dossier will get created. You need to copy that dossier over here. Okay, again this will be shown over the tab also. Click over there, a new tab will open. Okay, and you can paste over there. License will just generated. You need to paste over here like this folder, this tab. Here should be the license tab. You just paste over there and activate it by pressing next. That's it. Got the fair idea, Munir?
Yeah, understood.
And if you wanted to check, maybe dig more, you can go to the YouTube, search for the NetMinion solutions. Okay, there in that channel I have already shown this all of the things.
Okay, thank you, I'll check it.
Sure. So that is how it will be working. Now the next step is provisioning. Provisioning means which module you wanted to get provisioned for. Okay, so here in provisioning you need to as per your license, if your license is having that capability which you will be having by default, okay, so you can provision some of the modules. Like here also you are getting some of the options. Nominal means nominal resource you will be using, none means nothing, dedicated means that this particular hardware is dedicated for only that module. So we will not be using dedicated, we will be using nominal. Okay, now let me quickly show you my lab so that you guys can understand what I am doing. First thing, this software free to use, F5 is providing you. This software again F5 is providing you free to use. Now when you are going to it, okay, maybe let me go to some another big IP system, this big IP system which is not on yet. By default it will be using 2 GB of memory maybe, okay, and these will be your custom setting. What you need to do is you need to click over here. Okay, if you wanted to use ASM, what happened? Okay, can you see there is the option to increase and decrease the memory? Keep it at least 8. okay, 7 or 8. Reason behind, you will be doing ASM also, you will be doing your LTM also. In the process, maybe select the number of process 2, it will be equal to 4, then total codes. So select it about 4. Okay, this is for you, all of you guys who are using the dedicated server from your company. That is good, but if you wanted to build this lab on your home PC, you can create it. Okay, if you have maybe around 12 GB of the RAM, even that it will work. Okay, this is first thing. Second thing is PHP auction. Again, it will be free to use. Okay, I will be let you know how to download it, or I will be uploading it on the Google Drive. You can download directly from there. Do not need to surf, different places. It will be using around, if I'm not wrong, 512 MB RAM or maybe 1 GB RAM maximum. Okay, so it is again a very small kind of stuff, piece of code. Okay. So once this part is done, let me open my Chrome.